Hello everyone, today I'm going to be doing a tutorial on these super cute Junimos that I designed myself. Actually, I won Loom Star of the Week with this design, which is very cool, and I'm very excited for my reward that they send to all people that win Loom Star of the Week, and I'll do a video on that and unbox it and everything, which will be really fun. But anyway, on with the tutorial. Let's start with what you're going to need. So first, of course, you're going to need whatever bands you're going to be using for the main color of your Junimo. This one's blue, and I do have the band count. The main color is going to be 302 bands. Altogether, it's 349, but just for this color, it's going to be 302. And I'm going to be using these purple bands today. And then along with that, you're going to need, of course, your C-clip or stitch marker and your hook. This is my RainbowLoom hook. You can also use any 3mm hook that you may have. And also this hook grip. A lot of people on my TikTok have been asking me about it, how I made it and everything. I think I'm just going to be doing a tutorial on it, so look out for that as well. Then you're also going to need 2 of whatever color blush you're going to be using. I'm using these pink ones. These and this, in case you want to know, both came from the RainbowLoom Pastel Treasure Box. So if you want to use the same bands I'm using, that's where these came from. You're also going to need 2 of whatever you want the end of your antenna to be, 2 of those. These are leaves, so I'm using green, but you can, use whatever color you like. They don't even have to be leaves. They can match the color of your Junimo if that's what you prefer. You're also going to need some black bands for the arms, legs, and the antenna. For this, you're going to need 45 bands. 45 black bands is what you're going to need. So, and the very last thing, or actually no, there's 2 more things, but you're also going to need safety eyes. For these, I'm using 10mm safety eyes. You can also use whatever beads you may have that work as eyes. You can even use black bands as the eyes. And then you're also going to need something to stuff it with. I'm using polyfill. You can also use cotton balls. I've seen people use those. Whatever you may have. And let's just go ahead and start with the pattern. So for the very first row of this pattern, you're going to be doing a magic ring of 5. So we're going to start off by putting a triple cap band onto our hook. So to do that, we're going to put the band on and then twist it and put it back on our hook, and then grab it again, twist it again, and put it back on. That's also called reclaiming, when you put a band back onto your hook. So there's our triple cap band, and then into this we're going to be making 5 stitches. So you're gonna kind of wiggle this triple cap band, I'm sorry. This is triple. Sorry. This triple cap band onto the hook, which I'm having trouble with because my nails are really long and they're kind of hard to grab these bands are kind of hard to grab when you have long nails, but there we go. So, band on, and then we're going to be bringing this front loop through the back one, just like that. And that is our very first stitch into this triple cap band. So we're going to go back into the triple cap band here, just like that. And I'm just making sure I grabbed all the right things just then. We're going to be making another stitch. So we're going to bring this band through the triple cap band only, reclaim, and then bring this front loop through everything that is on our hook, just like that. And then we're going to repeat that until we have 5 stitches. So that's 2, and then this will be 3, and make sure you go through the entire triple cap band. You don't want to accidentally miss part of the cap band. And this will be 4, I believe. Yes, 4. And then the last stitch is 5. Just like that. And you can count these if you want. This one on our hook is 1, then 2, that's 3, 4, and 5 right there. Then you're going to get your stitch marker or C-clip and place it onto the band that is on your hook, just like that. And then we're going to start onto round 2. So row 2 is going to be an increase all the way around, which is going to leave us with 10 stitches. So I'm going to go into this first stitch here, which is this one, just like that, and I'm going to be doing an increase. So for that, you're going to bring one band through like you're making a stitch, and reclaim, and then bring the front loop through the back, and that's one stitch. And then we're going to go to the same stitch that we just went into, so that one right there, just like that, and then we're going to make another stitch, and that will make an increase. And you can see that is 1 stitch and 2 stitches. And you're going to continue doing that all the way around. So bring the band through, reclaim, front through everything, and then go into the same stitch and do that again. And that makes an increase. So that's 4 stitches we have so far. We need 10, sorry. That's 4, this is 5. And that's 6. I'm gonna move these bands down on my finger. 7. 8. And then the last 2 stitches that we're going to make, or the last increase, is going to be into the stitch that our C-clip is on. So we're going to go into there, just like that. C-clip's kind of in the way, but go into that stitch and make your last increase in there. Just like that. And then I'm going to move up my stitch marker, and here you can count your stitches if you like. I'm not going to because I counted them out loud. But there is row 2. Row 3 is going to be single crochet increase, and it's going to end on 15 stitches. So we're going to go into our first stitch over the 3rd row here, and we're just going to be doing 1 stitch into here. So single crochet is just 1 stitch. So bring the band through, bring the front through everything, and that's 1. And the next one will be an increase. So there's 1 band into that stitch, and then we're going to go back into it and make another one, and that is single crochet increase. And that is 1 sequence done. So we're going to do that all the way around. Single increase, single. Also, it's really late and there's crickets chirping outside, so I'm sorry if you can hear that on the camera. I'm not sure if you can, but they are being quite loud tonight, so I apologize for that noise in the background. Honestly, I find it kind of relaxing. I don't know, but I'm sorry if that bothers anyone. But that's single crochet increase, and then single here. I'm trying to get as close to the camera as possible to make sure that you can see everything that I'm doing. I'm gonna have to pick up some more bands here, and then increase, just like that. And then we're going to do single here. Pick up the bands I need. There we go. Single, And then our last stitch, or last part of our sequence is going to be into the cap, or where the C-clip is. So just like that, and then move your stitch marker up. There we go, and that is row 3 done. Row 4 is 2 single crochets and an increase. So we're going to go into our first stitch and make a single crochet, single again, and then an increase. And this row is going to end on 20 stitches, in case you would like to know. So increase there, and then single, just like that, single, and increase. Move these bands up so I'm not like suffocating my finger with these bands. Increase, and just do that all the way around. If this happens, which this happens to me quite often, just grab that band that is about to fall off, then grab the last band that you stitched on and just pull it back through, just like that. Nothing to worry about there. It's a very easy fix. There's an increase, and then single, single, and this is going to be an increase. Just like that, and then I've got one more sequence to do. I'm going to have to pick up some more bands here. I did not quite put enough on my finger a minute ago. But last sequence, single, single, and increase, just like that. And then take off your stitch marker and move it up, just like that. And that is the end of row 4. Row 5 is very similar to the last 2 rows that we've done. It falls into a sort of pattern. It's going to be 3 single crochets and an increase, ending on 25 stitches. So we go into our first stitch here, and single, 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 and this is going to be an increase here. So go back into the same stitch and increase, and that's one sequence. And you're going to continue this all the way around. 2, 3, and this is going to be our increase. One, 2. Also, I know I say this in every video, but if I'm going too fast, you can always slow the video down. You know, change the playback speed. So, just going to let you know. It's increase there, and then single, single. I keep losing my bands. Single, that was 3 singles, and now we're going to do an increase. I'm going to pick up some more bands here. You can kind of see them on the corner of the screen down there. So this will be an increase. It's 1, 2, 3, and then this is going to be an increase here. And that is the end of row 5. Move up our stitch marker. And then we're going to do row 6. Row 6 is going to be single crochets all the way around, ending in 25 stitches, just like the last row. Stitch count, that is the same as the last row, but this row as well as rows 7 through 12 are all the same. They're all single crochets. So I'm going to do this row with you, row 6, and then you can do row 7 and 12 on your own. I'm going to go off camera and do those because they're all the exact same. So single crochets all the way around. Go to our first stitch, make a single crochet, and then continue that until we get to the very end. Just like that. And if you need help, with the next however many rows it is, let me see, 6 rows, then you can just look back at this part of the video and see how I'm doing it, because like I said, they're all the exact same. So single, single, pick up some more bands here. That band is broken. I don't know. I'm dropping bands everywhere else. Oh my god. Pick these up. There we go. Okay. Almost to the very end. 2 more stitches. Pick up 2 more bands. There we go. And stitch, and that's the very last one. So again, I'm just gonna repeat it one more time. 7 through 12 are all the exact same as this row. So just do this 6 more times and you'll be good. A little tip as well for counting rows and make sure you're on the right track and everything. It does help if you write down the pattern and write down which row you're on, but also just placing single bands and then picking up a band as you start a row. So for example, I'm about to start row 7. I'm just going to pick up this one and do row 7, and then when I do row 8, I'm going to pick up this one, do row 8, etc. So that way I don't have to mentally keep track of which row I'm on. I can just use these as my counting bands. So I'm gonna go off camera and do these rows, and I will be right back. I have now finished all of the other 6 rows, and now I'm going to go ahead and put my eyes where I want them to go, and I'm going to use this to sort of, measure where everything needs to be and everything. So I'm going to put it about 5 rows up from the bottom. So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I'm gonna put this eye right here, and then on this one I put it about it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches apart. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So it's 1, 2, so that would be about right there. And it looks strange right now because it's not stuffed or even finished or anything. But that looks about right. I might move that later on, depending on how I like it. But for right now, I'm not going to put the backs on, you know, just in case I don't like the placement. But now we're going to continue with the last 4 rows here. We're now going to be doing row 13. So for this, we're going to do 3 single crochets and a decrease, ending on 20 stitches. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and a decrease is, for a decrease we're going to work in 2 stitches. So this is where our last stitch was here. We're going to be working in these 2 stitches here. We're going to bring our hook through the front band of this stitch and in the back of the next one, just like that. And that is a decrease. And then we're going to bring a band through, reclaim, and stitch. And that is what a decrease looks like. And we're going to continue that all the way around. So 1, 2, 3, and I'll show you a decrease one more time. Or not one more time, I'm going to be doing it the rest of the way, but an in-depth way of doing it. So working in these 2 stitches again, I'm going to do front loop of this one and then back loop of the next, and then stitch, just like that. And continue that all the way around. My goodness, I swear, every time I make a tutorial, my hook falls off a million times. So that was 1 and 2, 3, and then another decrease, just like that. 1, 2, 3, and if I can grab it, there we go. Decrease. 1, 2, 3, and decrease. And then we're going to be ending on a single crochet here. And I'm going to go around and count this row to make sure I have all the right stitches. As soon as I make that stitch, there we go. And then I'm going to move up my stitch marker. And this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. So that's 20. There we go. And now we're going to move on to row 14. Now row 14 is very different from the other rows that we have done. It is going to be a half row, which means that we're going to be working in the front loop only of all of these stitches, just for this row. So this is row 14, by the way. So for this row, it's going to be 2 single crochets and a decrease. So we're going to do a single crochet, but again, front loop only, just like that. So that's, oh my god, again with my hook falling off. Alright, so there's single, and another single, and then a decrease. So decrease, just like same as I showed you last time, except front loop only. So the front loop of this one and the front loop of the next stitch as well, and that's going to be where our decrease is. So again, single, if I can grab this, my goodness, single and a decrease, go, and continuing this front loop only, single, single, and decrease, and decrease again. There we go. And our last stitch is going to be single crochet, just like that. And now we are going to move on to row 15. Row 15 is single crochet decrease, and this is not going to be half row, so we're going to be working in the entire stitch. So this is single and decrease here, just like that, single, decrease, single, wait, what was that? That was single, okay. Lose track sometimes. Decrease. 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 And these last two are going to be singles for me anyway. I think I might have missed a stitch somewhere, but that's fine if you do. At this point, if you miss a stitch anywhere, it's fine. It's not gonna drastically change anything. Now, this is where we're at with our Junimo, and I think I might change this placement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not sure if this is exactly the same as this one, but let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay, so I'm actually gonna move this down 1 right there, and then I'm gonna move this one down 1 as well, so right there. And I think I like that placement a lot better. Yeah, that looks about even to me. So now what we're gonna do, or what I'm gonna do, is I'm going to place the backs of my eyes. I can't pick it up, okay. I'm gonna place the backs of my eyes here. Okay, sorry, my camera cut out for a second there, but continuing placing the backs of my eyes, just like that. There we go. And now they're nice and secure in there. And now I'm also going to stuff this wherever my stuffing went. What? Okay, there it is. It's right here. So I'm going to stuff this a bit. I like to take this and roll it around with my hands like that to make it nice and compact so it doesn't really stick through the bands as much. And then I'm just going to stuff that in there. I'm going to grab some more. and put that in there. And I think it needs a little bit more, so I'm gonna grab some, make sure that everything looks the way that I want it to. It kind of is looking like a jellyfish right now. Maybe I'll do like a spin-off of this pattern where it becomes a jellyfish instead of a Junimo. That's actually a good idea. I might do that. But I think I'm gonna put just a tiny bit more in here before I do the last row, because the last row we're gonna be closing this. So we're not gonna be able to stuff it after we close it. So I'm gonna make sure that this all is looking the way that I want it to. There we go. So I think that's good. All right. And there's our little Junimo almost done. We have one row to do left, so that would be row 16. So this row, the very last row, row 16, is going to be single crochet decrease again. So do single decrease. Lost my band again, constantly doing that. Decrease. I'm trying not to catch this polyfill on my hook because then it gets pulled out. It doesn't really matter if it gets pulled out because you can always kind of pluck it, which is what I always do anyway. That was a, what was that? A decrease. All right. And single decrease. And this last one, I'm going to make a decrease as well, instead of doing single, or 2 singles is what it would have been. And then I'm going to take this off. Actually, this is not the exact last row, I guess. I'm just going to decrease until I close. So this is going to be a decrease, and then I think I'm going to do one last decrease right here. And instead of doing a normal stitch, I'm going to bring this band through everything on my hook, just like that, and then bring this front loop through the back and pull really tight to make a slip knot. So now this will not come undone, and I'm going to go through the side of my Junimo here and tuck this band in order to hide it, just like that. And I'm going to kind of pull these bands in as well to make the bottom nice and flat. And there's our little Junimo. Well, the head of it anyway. We gotta do the arms and the antenna and the legs and everything, because right now, again, it just looks like a jellyfish. But I'm also going to put on my blush, because I kind of use the blush to measure where the arms are going to be, and the legs too, actually. So on this Junimo, I put it kind of diagonally to the eye. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go 1 down and then 2 over to make my blush placement on each side, just because I like everything to be nice and even. So we're going to go 1 down and 2 over, which is going to be right here. And I'm going to bring this band through, bring the front through the back, and then I'm going to pull it, but I'm not going to pull it too tight, not like a normal slip knot. So I'm going to do the same here. So it's 1 down, 2 over is right. Well, actually, is that right there? I'm double checking with this Junimo. 1 down, 2 over. Yes, that is right. Okay. Just double checking that really quick. And right there, you can say I pulled up some polyfill. You can just pluck that out and get rid of it, because I don't really like the polyfill sticking through. So this is what it's looking like right now. All you have to do is go up through here and tuck it in, just like that. And that way it hides that band, but you can still see the blush, because if you pull it too tight, you're not going to be able to see the blush. It's going to look really small. So I'm going to make sure that I can see that very well. And that is really, really cute. So there's our blush. Now we're going to do the arms. So I'm going to set this aside, and we're going to do the arms and the antenna. For the arms and the legs, they're all made exactly the same. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to make one of them with you because I already made the other 3 and put them on. So I'm going to show you how to make an arm or leg. So what we're going to do is going to make a quadruple cap band. So you're going to put a band on your hook, then you're going to turn it and make it into a figure 8 just like that. And then you're going to grab both of those loops and twist it again and bring it back on your hook to make a quadruple cap band. You should have 4 loops on your hook. Don't know how well you can see that because this band is, you know, black. You can't see it that well on camera. But then you're going to take 2 bands and you're going to put on your hook, and we're going to bring this cap band over those 2 bands just like that and through, and then you're going to reclaim by putting it back on your hook and kind of pull these bands a little bit to straighten everything out. And then we're going to do that again. I'm going to take 2 bands and we're going to bring them through everything and reclaim. And we're going to do that 2 more times. So 2 bands, bring it through everything, and just like that. And last one, 2 bands, bring it through everything, reclaim, and that is our arm or legs. So then you're going to take another band and you're going to pull it through everything like that, and this is the band that we're going to use to attach it. So I'm going to put it on my finger just like that to hold it, make sure it doesn't come undone. And if you want everything to be even like I do, you're going to put your arms 1 stitch away from your blush on each side. As you can see, there's 1 stitch in between the arm and the blush. And then for the legs, I put them directly below the eyes and then 2 stitches apart. So for this one, I put it directly below, and then I'm going to go 1, 2 stitches over to this stitch right here, which is kind of hard to get to because this band's in the way. But this is where I'm going to go, which is also, it's not directly below, but it's still below the eye. And then what I'm going to do is, this is my leg on my finger here, and I'm going to bring this back band on my hook and bring it through that stitch or the spot where I want it, and then bring the front loop through the back and pull it really, really tight to create a slip knot. And then I'm going to go here and tuck this band in, just like that. And when you're tucking bands, make sure you're going into the stitch directly beside it, so you're not like tucking it across stitches, because then you're still going to be able to see it. So, oh, the leg's bent. But there are the arms and the legs. Again, arms and legs are all made exactly the same. So you can pause the video, go ahead and make your other leg and arms and everything like that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to make the antenna as well. Okay, so for the antenna, you're going to take the whatever color you want the end of your antenna to be. I'm doing green for mine. And I think earlier I said you need 2 of these bands. You actually need 3. So I'm sorry about that. You actually do need 3. So we're going to do a quadruple cap band again. So we're going to twist it, put it back on our hook to make a figure 8, and then double it again to make 4, just like that. And then we're going to take 2 more of that same color and bring those bands through everything, just like that. And then we're going to do the exact same thing that we did with the arms and the legs and make or add 4 of these doubled chains This is what these are called, by the way, are chains, in case you want to know. But where that's 1, that's 2, and this is 2 bands every single time, by the way. That's 3, and 1 more, 2 bands, and 4. Just like that. And then again, we're going to take 1 band through everything, just like that. Put it back on my hook, like this. And then I am going to place this about in the middle of the head and the middle of the eyes. So I'm going to kind of use my hook to guide all the way up here. So I'm going to go in about here and up through the middle, and this is where I'm going to be putting my antenna. So again, grabbing that front band or back band, pulling it through that stitch where I want it, and then making a, grabbed the other band, okay, making a slip knot, just like that, and then I'm going to go up through the side and tuck that band in, and there is my little purple Junimo. You can also kind of move this around as well, which I like. The bands are quite flexible. You can kind of change the positions of the bands and everything, which is pretty cute. You can make them do kind of different expressions and things like that. So that is going to be the end of this tutorial, because our Junimo is all done, and I hope that you enjoyed the video and the tutorial was easy to follow. If you guys want to, if you guys have any other suggestions of things you want me to make from Stardew Valley, because I've been trying to rack my brain of things to make from that game, because I really, really love that game. I made a star drop. I might post a tutorial on it, but I don't know, mostly just because I used someone else's pattern of a star as sort of a guideline for it. The patterns are very different, but I would have to ask their permission, I feel like, because I did use their pattern as a guideline, as I said. But if you guys have any other suggestions for things you want me to make from Stardew Valley, let me know. But these are really, really cute, and I hope you enjoyed. So I will see you in the next video.